right, do any other actors want to say anything about the experience that would be helpful? Helpful, constructive?
No.
Sergio is a senior, and today was his last day of school. Any other seniors in this group?
No.
Sergio is now officially out of high school. Isn't that amazing? He spent his first hours out of high school helping you guys. Navy? Awesome. Very cool. Congratulations. That's great. Dennis, do you have anything that you observed that would be helpful for us?
Well, maybe one quick thing, that would be just a reminder, once you get patients to a TARP, make sure you re-triage because people can get worse. They generally don't get better, but they can get worse. So just because somebody starts out on a green doesn't mean they may not end up on a red TARP. Or worse yet, a red TARP might end up on the black TARP. And try to stay away from the tunnel vision. You know, when you see things that are ugly, it tends to focus you on that, right? It may not be the worst patient you have though, so sort of overlook the ugly and check the patient for that RPM, the respirations, the perfusion, and the mentation, right? And that's just an easy way to do it. And when they're all screaming at you, it makes it tough. And if it's ugly, cover it up. If you got something to cover it up with, maybe that'll keep you from, you know, I call it covering the ugly.
Yeah.
You cover the ugly, that way it doesn't bother you, distract you.
Yeah. So the ugly could be a limb that's really hurt bad or a lot of bleeding or that kind of thing. Yeah, that's good.
And everybody did a good job.
The other thing, thank you, Dennis, that reminded me, two things, and I'm only thinking of one of them now. So when you're done search and rescue and you're kind of done with that job, if you're able to jump in and help in the medical treatment area or help in another area, and I saw several of you guys doing that, and so that's great. So you switched roles, which is very appropriate. The other thing is some of you guys, I think, might have been hyperventilating almost, or feeling a little bit lightheaded. You're in this hot gear. It's a very stressful environment, and it's okay to sit down and take a break. Okay, you have to look out for your own safety, your own well-being, and so it's okay to tell your buddy and say, I just need to take a little break. Take that mask off, get some air, get yourself back into good condition before you jump in and help again. It's not only okay, it's the wise thing to do. So as a buddy, look out for your buddy and check in with them occasionally and say, how are you doing? Do you need a break? And they're probably going to say, I'm fine, let's keep going. Or they might say, yeah, I do kind of need a break. You know, so check in with your buddy. Because that gear, it gets hot after a while. And you guys were only in there for a little while. It seemed like a long time. But imagine you have over 700 people, almost 800 people in your high school. Okay? That's going to be a long rest. You will have to take breaks and check out for your buddy. Yes?
I wonder how the firefighters feel. Like,
In all their heavy gear, yeah. Oh my goodness.
crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. You guys train a lot to get used to it, don't you?
Yeah, the funny thing is you go to like Arizona where it's 100 degrees, 120 degrees, they still have to wear the same gear. I feel fortunate being in an area that on a really hot day, maybe 80 around here, right?
Yeah.
And they wear the exact same clothing.
Yeah.
Maybe someday one of you guys are going to be a first responder like Dennis. That would be so cool.
No, I think probably several of you will. I mean, I saw so many good you guys seem to get this stuff really well, so I wouldn't be surprised if many of you guys go into some kind of a first responders field. Okay, does anyone else have something that they would like to share? Caleb, another thought.
Did anyone notice the one that we tagged black when we brought him in as a victim? Did anyone notice it?
Well done. So Caleb was very strategic about this. There was one person who died. They tagged him black. And he was very strategic about, and his team, about where to bring him and how to bring him in so the people in the medical treatment area wouldn't see the dead person and get traumatized by him. So he just verified to see if it worked, and it worked. Nobody saw the dead person get brought in, so that's very nice. Good job, you guys. Yeah, so tell us how you did it. And your team members had an idea too. Somebody grabbed a sheet and put it over him. And
Yeah, we had this one, I think, right?
Yeah.
Carry? We had him carry it with a sheet over the back of it as a backpack carry. And we had him go back around and come out the door and go through the big door. But before he came in, I had other people go and talk to the victims and have them face the opposite way. Like sit on one side and have them talk to them.
Nice.
Wall up vine.
Strategy. You didn't even notice either. Yeah. So that's really good. That's just awesome. Talk about disaster psychology and how you just saved so many people from getting more traumatized than they were. And you guys all work together. I saw people, the whole communication thing, being in cooperation. I saw you guys cooperating with each other when somebody had a direction or an idea or that kind of thing. So I'm very proud of you guys. I think you guys have learned incredible skills. And yes.
Well, what I saw a lot of people doing, like, even I told some people we have to, like, when there's a small corridor, when we're going through the hall, people need to stay in, like, doorways when you're coming through, and I saw a lot of that, and things
To
got
keep
through
the
a lot
doors
faster.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep doors open, other hallways clear, so
Oh, good.
people can rush through.
Yep, good. So you're really thinking ahead on how to accomplish these things. That's good. What'd you say?
Get on the way to the note.
Yeah.
Exactly. Listen to the door.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. And I at one point some of you guys were doing a carry, a 6-person carry, and taking them down. I said, put your backpacks on the front because otherwise you're not going to make it through the door. And everybody just put their backs on the front, did it, and it worked. You guys got through. It's still tight though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still imagine if the backpacks were on the back, how hard that would have been. Yeah. Mr. Rasmussen, is there anything you'd like to share?
Oh, just a couple.
Okay.
Just a couple. Let me prop this up and come right out there. So, youngins, would you like another shot at this?
Yeah.
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 And that is why we're not going to get another shot this year. But that is why we had 2 of them set up. You learned a huge amount today, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you knew the skills, but I heard Ken as an example go, what is that when their circulation isn't going? Somebody says shock. Yeah, shock. But I mean, she knew that, but it just was escaping her a little bit.
Because of the stress of all the stress and chaos.
I remember the capillary said.
Yes,
Good,
yes,
good,
yes.
good.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying you knew the skills, and this solidified it, didn't it? It brought it. Another one, when you're putting a guy on a blanket, you roll him away from the blanket first, stuff it in under, and then roll him back. You know. Well, we rolled him onto it a couple times until people went, that didn't work too well. Okay, so did it help you learn?
Yes.
In a huge way.
Yeah.
And Dylan, you need to lose some weight, man. Ripping the darn blanket and everything. Well, I'm glad we didn't have to lift you. Yeah, that was, I got that. I got that whole video of you taking them down the hall.
Nice.
Yes, and that was good. You did communicate well. Justin, where are you? Yes, his hands were given out a couple times. You know, the head, stronger people need to be up at that torso, at that head level. And you can let the lightweights handle the feet. Well, he was just worn out. And he had to say, put it down, and everybody listened and put it down. And Angel took over a good lead role saying, ready, lift. Wasn't exactly the terminology we learned, but you got it, didn't you? Did this work well?
Yes.
All right, and we need to really give our hosts a big applause. That's all I have.
And thank you to the fire department too, to Taft Fire for letting us have us here.
Can I say one thing? You guys may think you're kids, but what I saw was a lot of grown-up people, and you guys can rescue me anytime.
Okay, so we got a walk in front of us, a trek. I'll be back there. We're going to help Miss Graves unload the stuff, and then we're done. We'll be done way before 3.
And happy 3-day
Nice.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good day, yes.
You're not going to help.
There we go.
Go run in, buddy.
I have to go babysit. I would fine, but I shouldn't lift anything anyway.
All right, I'll be kind and considerate.
Hey, Razzle.
Yes.
Can't walk uphill.